editing Libby. You're gonna hate me. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Chan. If you're new here, I'm Libby Girl, and welcome back to my cozy corner. So guys, I have some bad news to tell you, and it's basically I effed up. I effed up big time, and let me tell you why. So do you want to know the most annoying thing? I did like a whole video trip going to Waterstones, and it turns out my camera did not record a single sound for this whole entire video. So I went on like a little spontaneous bookshop on the weekend because although I have been on a book ban, overall this month I've read like 8 books. I went just because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna browse around the store. Browsing around a bookshop is never just browsing when you're a shopaholic. Basically, I read Fitzgerald in A-levels and I kind of enjoyed it, so now I'm thinking, do I read this or not? This can be a voiceover, because you're going back over here. Goodbye. And I ended up buying 2 books. So I've currently finished the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which was recommended to me. And at first I was like, oh, I'm probably not going to like it because it's a YA series, but oh my God. Guys, I am hooked on it, and I think I was more hooked on it without all the smut and everything. It's just like actually really good, and it's more about the emotions and the yearning. So my review on Fable for this series was, Once Upon a Time is basically a series that is just all about what happens when you're in a situationship. Like, this whole book just embodied what a situationship feels like, from the yearning and the wanting to them like being a bit like hating on you and a bit of a villain, and then it's angsty, and then he wants you when you don't want to hear. Once Upon a Broken Heart is a 10 out of 10 series. Yeah, sometimes the writing is a bit childish, but hey ho, it's a YA, what do I expect? But after all of this, I need another fix, Stephanie Garber, but I didn't want to go back and read Carnival because I was like, if I go back and read Carnival and then see Jax with another girl, I ain't gonna like that, you know? Like, I'm a Jax and Eveline shipper, and the fact that there's another Once Upon a Broken Heart coming out this year, guys, I've just fallen into this series at the perfect time. But anyway, so when I was in Waterstones, I saw the most gorgeous book. Here she is. Look how gorgeous she is. She's a hardback. Personally, I don't really like buying hardbacks because they're a lot harder to like transport around and stuff. So it's more like a at-home book, and it's like more of a, I'm going to show off on my bookshelf book. I'm such a terrible person. I really judge a book by its cover. Like, if it's not pretty, I'm not buying it. So I went for this, and it's called The Alchemy of Secrets, and it's basically set in like a modern time, and it follows the main character who's called Holland, cute name, and she basically goes to these lessons with a professor and hears all about these fables and stuff, and she believes in them. Like, she really believes that magic is real, and then basically her story unfolds as she goes through loads of different fables and tales and stuff, and it's really interesting. It's got like this whimsy Halloween sort of feel, very gothic, very cutesy, and I'm just really enjoying it. To be fair, I feel like this is more of an autumn book, but I'm enjoying it now because the Manchester weather is just crap right now. Like, it's raining, it's haily, it's moody, and I feel like I need an angsty book to get in on it. The next book I bought was a Sophie Kinsella book, but I'm a really big Sophie Kinsella fan. She's probably one of the first like romance authors that I ever read because my mum got me into her, as it's like my mum used to go to the charity shops and pick up like 50p books before we went on holiday, and then once I finished like my little dystopian books, my mum would pass me her books, and that's how I got into Sophie Kinsella. One of my favorite Sophie Kinsella books is actually The 90s Girls. If you haven't read The 90s Girls, I really highly recommend you to read it. So it's just a lovely story, very romantic, but also like finding yourself and being unique to who you are. And it was very much, for me, I read this when I was on holiday with my mom, and it's just a beautiful book. And I don't know, something about when you read a book on holiday, it just makes it 10 times better and a bit more like romantic and magical. And I always just love reading books on holiday. So they're the 2 books that I did buy. There was so many more as well. We kept seeing loads of great little series as well. I'm really into my cowboy era at the moment. This month, I finally finished the, oh my God, what's the series called? Done and Dusted. I finally have finished all of that. So that happened at the start of the month. And then I got into Elsie Silver. Guys, my life has changed since I got into the Elsie Silver books. So I'm now on the 3rd one, which is a picture. Wait, I'm gonna have to go look quickly. Let's go to the bookshelf. It's called The Front Runner. The problem with me is I do have all the books in person, but because I'm dyslexic, I'm finding it a lot easier just to read everything on my Kindle. And guys, moment for the Kindle, please. Just look how cute she is. She's very me, you know? She's very like cunty, You shouldn't say that because I'm not cunty at all. I'm like a little whimsical golem. But she's very like girly and she's romantic-y, cowboy cat, because I fucking love cats. But I've just been reading everything on my Kindle and it's been a lot easier for me to read, especially because I'm dyslexic. I can have the font bigger. I can just tap away at night, you know. I don't need to have my special lamp torch on to read in bed when it's like a paperback book. So I'm really enjoying the Elsie Silver ones. A bit of thing that I have noticed with Elsie Silver is that when she writes smut, she writes smut. Like, they go on for ages, chapter after chapter. And at first I did think that the books were quite repetitive. So the first two books, which is it like a picture perfect when I should just bring the books over here, shouldn't I? Off to the races, you know, at moments it kind of annoyed me because it felt like the plot was very repetitive, you know. But I just feel like Elsie Silver feels like she's found like a plot recipe that works and then she just repeats it. However, I did really like a photo finish. I don't know if it was because of like, it was a different style of book. Like, it wasn't enemy to lovers or like fake dating. It was basically like they met online beforehand but they didn't realize it was each other, and then like it was going backwards and forwards in time, and I really enjoyed that. I don't know if it was just because it was like, this could be realistic, you know. It could not be realistic, but because he's rich and sexy and like a cowboy, it kind of makes sense. But we try not to deep romance books, okay? So romance books are like escapism from our daily lives. So let's not deep romance books. I am really loving Frontrunner right now. This Frontrunner follows Stefan Dalko and Miria Fawn. Stefan Dalko, in like the first two books, he's kind of like the antagonist. Like, he's this bad boy gangster guy that we don't trust. And Miria, she's like this I don't give a fuck vet. And it's very interesting to see their point of views be away from the family as well. Editing Libby here. Ooh. I did finish Photo Finish and it's not my top favourite, so ignore anything I said in this video. 5 stars, truly amazing. I don't know if she gave it 5 stars on Fable, but as for the sake of this video, 5 stars, amazing. Plot twist, I cried. Gonna have to take a break from the cowboy smut. I say this every single time. I start reading the cowboy books and then I need to take a pause because they are a lot, okay? Very heavy. So I feel like at the moment I'm dual reading this and the Alchemy of Secrets, which is very interesting because it's like Alchemy of Secrets is very whimsy, not very heavy on the romance. It's more about like on the mystery, which is fun. But I'm gonna have to like take a break after this book and maybe go back to, I really want to finish off the third Crescent City book, so I might go back to that. I also need to finish the Throne of Glass series. But I'm just like really enjoying all the books I'm reading at the moment and would highly recommend probably the Gold Rush Ranch series, as long as you're not like going to take it too seriously and let the microplastics go to your head, okay? Because sometimes you just need like these little silly romances in your life, and I really enjoyed them. I'd also highly recommend the Once Upon a Broken Heart series as well. Bear in mind, it's not like adult romance. It's going to be a bit cutesy. There's going to be periods where you're going to feel like you've got blue balls because there's no sex happening. Keep going because it is such a lovely story, and you don't need to read Carnival beforehand. I don't think, like, it kind of explains things within like the first chapter of like what had happened, and I don't think I am going to read it. I know like this probably sounds like book treason. I'm not going to go back and read it, but I feel like I'm already set on the couple that I've got and I don't want to go back and read it because then I'm going to be I hate that couple, when I love it. It's so cute. But yeah, guys, that's basically it. I'm probably going to do a voiceover for what I was up to when I was reading. I just can't believe that it didn't have any sound on. Oh, I'm terrible with this YouTubing. But anyway, guys, editing Libby, you're gonna hate me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a like and follow so you don't miss out on any content from moi. And why don't you also drop a comment down below for what books you think I should read next month? Why don't you let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Once Upon a Broken Heart series as well? And guys, I will see you next time on the Chan Chan. Goodbye.